Hello there, Kaos Nova here, and this is another round of Fallout-related media. So, the situation we're in right now is that we're going to wait a while after the Season 1 of the Fallout series on Amazon Prime. I have my review on it. First, I just want to start with, a little bit of an apology. I went against my own criteria for a little bit, and I put some text in there, but I just want to say, I'm sorry. I went against my own criteria because I had some bias for Fallout as a franchise. But yeah, that little point was a contradiction, and I tried to weasel it out, but I'm sorry I did that. Moving on, though, I just want to say it's tough. Bear with me. Reviewing's tough. Anyways, I'm going to move forward and say that we're going to be talking about more Fallout-related media, because in the meantime, while we're waiting a year or two for the next season, we can go take a look at related media, and I'm going to do more episodes of this. So, I have a couple of related media we're going to talk about today, where if you like Fallout, you'll probably like this. So I have a previous episode that started the whole series, and I'm going to have it in the description. So, and I'm also going to have a playlist for this whole series, so you can just go look at it. Because I'm going to do quite a number of episodes, at least several. Because so far, it appears that my audience really likes hearing things related to Fallout, and it would be a nice way to enjoy your time in between seasons of these series on Amazon Prime.
So to start with our Fallout-related media, Episode 2, we're going to start with Silo. Silo is an American science fiction post-apocalyptic television series created by Graham Yost based on the Silo trilogy of novels, known as Wool, Shift, and Dust by author Hugh Howley. Set in a dystopian future where a community exists in the giant underground silo comprising 144 levels, it stars Rebecca Ferguson as an engineer who becomes embroiled in the mysteries of its past and present. Rashida Jones, David Oyelowo, Common, Tim Robbins, Harriet Walter, Avi Nash, Rick Gomez, and Chinaza Uche also star. The series is not available for streaming on Amazon like Fallout is, but is rather available on Apple TV+. I recommend the series of Silo because the series and the novels it is adapted from go into the experience of life in an underground shelter community compared to a vault in the Fallout franchise. If you're wondering about something I would recommend over on Apple TV+, this would be it. Another one we're going to talk about is the film and novel for A Boy and His Dog. A Boy and His Dog is a film released in 1975 based on an earlier novel of the same name. It follows the post-nuclear, post-apocalyptic journeys of a young man named Vic and his telepathic dog named Blood. Vic is on the hunt for supplies and wants a mate, while asking for advice in his quest from Blood, as Vic lacks a formal education. Vic also escaped from a Fallout shelter with a social experiment similar to some of the vaults in the Fallout games, and their twisted, experiments they performed in them. The film was not a commercial success on release in 1975. However, the film became a cult film, and elements of the Fallout games such as social experiments in the vaults, a dog companion, and a few other elements finding their way into the Fallout game series. The film is also set in 2024, the current year I'm uploading the video and the year of Fallout being released as a streaming service on Amazon Prime. Similar to Mad Max, if you enjoy dark and gritty humor of the Fallout games, you'll likely enjoy the film and the novel. Now, while we've been talking so much about regular live-action films, now we're going to go over to animated films and television series. Animated, we're going to talk about Fist of the North Star. Mad Max, while an Australian film series from the early 1980s, carried on a legacy into manga and anime. Part of that legacy was carried on in Mad Max, being an extensive inspiration for author Bronson and illustrator Tetsuo Ohara in the making of their manga and animated television film adaptation known as Hokuto no Ken in Japanese, or Fist of the North Star in English. The literal translation to English would be Fist of the Big Dipper, which would refer to the scars shaped out like the stars of the Big Dipper etched into the iconic hero Kenshiro's chest. The manga and anime took heavy inspiration from both the Mad Max films and the Bruce Lee films of the 1960s and 1970s. And so here begins our journey into anime that Fallout fans would likely enjoy. Fist of the North Star occurs in the early 21st century following nuclear holocaust occurring at some point in the 1990s, referred to as 199X with the exact year unknown. It follows the exploits of a master martial artist known as Kenshiro, practicing the deadly martial art known as Hokuto Shinken, a style of fighting which turns into a literal time bomb by creating vibrations in key pressure points which tear the body apart. In the iconic phrase uttered by Kenshiro, "Omae wo shinderu," or "You're already dead," is uttered after he has delivered the fatal blows and his enemy is experiencing the fatal explosive chain reaction. The series in manga and animated television follows Kenshiro in his journeys, battling various raiders, warlords, and even rivals of his own. His hope is to restore order and freedom to the post-nuclear wasteland, along with proving himself the champion of the art of Hokuto Shinken. In addition to being a manga and an animated television series, Fist of the North Star has had a number of video games, animated films, and even a live-action film and is an adaptation of the franchise. But if one wonders about a post-apocalyptic fighting franchise, one can look no further than Fist of the North Star for a mix of fighting, crazy stories, and dark humor when it comes to anime. While Fist of the North Star took inspiration from Bruce Lee and Mad Max, it in turn would inspire other manga and anime franchises. Among those franchises that marks the legacy of Fist of the North Star is another manga written and illustrated by author Yukito Kishiro. The manga began publication back in Shonen Jump series magazine back in 1990, and the original series was publication from 1990 until 1995, with a conclusion in 1995 until the series had a retcon and continuation, and promised conclusion from 2014 to the present. The series is known as Battle Angel Alita, Gun Dreams, or GUNNM, and the current series, which is the promised conclusion, is Mars Chronicle. Battle Angel Alita or GUNNM has received adaptations in other media, including a video game known as Battle Angel Alita Memories of Mars or GUNNM Martian Memory, released in 1998 in Japanese only. Although fan translations mods in English for the game have been made. The manga has received 2 short animated films later compiled into a film known as Battle Angel, released in 1993, and a live-action film released in 2019 called Alita Battle Angel, starring Rosa Salazar and Christoph Waltz. A number of elements in GUNNM can make Fallout players feel at home. The backstory is a great war causing a post-apocalyptic scene in which the story is set. Also a case of the story plot is a type of social experiment of horrific proportions, eventually revealed for a later purpose in preparing for long interstellar voyages, a plot point for the Vaults, intended in the Fallout franchise for the cancelled Fallout Van Buren project. Much of the plot occurs in the city known as the Scrapyard, or in the film adaptations as Scrap Iron City. Other parts of the manga occur in Badlands or even off-world in geosynchronous orbit around Mars. Similar to Fist of the North Star, from which it was inspired, Battle Angel Alita involves a story about mastery of martial arts. Different from Fist of the North Star is the normalcy of cyborgs and mechanical prosthetic limbs in the world, as opposed to the primitive regressed technology of the former. Also similar to the classic Fallout games is the emphasis on choices and consequences, in addition to those influenced by the titular character, Alita or Galley herself, along her journey. Similar to the original Fallout games, the original manga ending in 1995 contained a slideshow-style ending for what became of the various characters that Alita encountered and how she influenced them. Wasteland. Among the great inspiration for Fallout was the early PC game Wasteland, a role-playing game set in the then-future United States after a nuclear holocaust. The player controls a team of soldiers exploring after leaving a shelter from the nuclear weapons and radioactive fallout. Due to issues regarding the rights to the game, a sequel to the 1988 PC game Wasteland was not made for years, but during the interim, Fallout was made as a spiritual successor. However, thanks to crowdfunding through Kickstarter, a sequel to Wasteland was developed and eventually released on Windows, macOS, and Linux, with Wasteland 2 in 2013, and Wasteland 3 was released in 2020 on PC and consoles. Wasteland 2 was also later released on consoles after its initial release. Wasteland Games' RPGs focus on turn-based gameplay for interaction and combat, along with an open world similar to the original Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics. The Wasteland games occur primarily in Colorado and Arizona as soldiers working in the splintered United States following a nuclear war and the new emerging feudalistic society formed among the survivors in the aftermath. Players form a team of characters and carry out missions with the team, utilizing character skills in combat and also in various tasks, such as lockpicking, dialogue, and so on. If you enjoyed the old Fallout or enjoy role-playing games with a futuristic tone, then Wasteland Games could be worth a try. These games can be found on GOG.com or GOG, or Steam for PC, as well as for PlayStation or Xbox consoles. The atmosphere and gameplay of the old Fallout games is all found in Wasteland. As a conclusion to this Fallout-related media series, in which I show you the various media similar to Fallout, and even some of which is inspiration for the Fallout game franchise, I want to wish you the best and hope you all have a wonderful time out there. And I, Kaos, your favorite Wasteland radio DJ here on YouTube, will be continuing with my current operations in creating fan content for you, as fans of sci-fi and fans of other good things that are out there. In the meantime, I have the only complete game soundtrack for the Battle Angel Alita video game, and I mentioned Battle Angel Alita as a related media to Fallout, which it has a lot of the same beats. I have the only full soundtrack, not a single song from the game missing. So you can go find it here on my channel, and I'll have a link to it in the description and in the cards. I also will be running Kaos Tutorials, which is me giving some tech tips to you and giving some information on various computer applications. And I'm even planning to do other fun things, such as talk about fiction, the paper airplanes, or various other tips you see in fictional franchises, or even just real world tips as well. So stay tuned with Kaos Tutorials if you're interested in tech tips. Also, for the Fallout franchise, in terms of games, I have the Chaos Fallout Chronicles, which should be a fun little thing to follow as I give tips and record my moments from the first time playing the various Fallout games. Currently working on getting some tips for Fallout 4, 3, and when I do get the Fallout Tactics running, I'll have tech tips for getting it running as well myself. So in the meantime, stay tuned. Hopefully these recommended Fallout-related media help keep you a little dosed in your post-apocalyptic enjoyment and entertainment in the meantime. And I'm just going to say, as far as my conclusion, be safe out there, and I'll be signing off.
Hello there. Now this is a way you can support my channel here. So first way is my store. This is the Streamlabs store. You can go buy some merchandise, support the channel, some little wacky merchandise with logos on it. Coming up next is my Teespring store, which I will feature products from the store on my videos, other content from time to time. Similar. Very similar, cool, spiffy merchandise you can get with logos on it. A nice hoodie right here with the winter season going on. And here's my Patreon. You can subscribe for exclusive access, early access, and the honor of being a member who offers support to my channel and the ongoing operations and creations especially. And the other one here, I also have a Rumble, which I have other videos for, because with YouTube you want to have a subject focus, so there's other content of other subjects. And this should be it. So in the meantime, I want to thank you as my audience for stopping by to watch this video. And thank you for all your support. In the meantime, be safe out there, and I will be signing off.